Hi, my name's Katie and welcome to my channel. Tonight I've got a very special video for you. So I've got Jack here. We're at MAD Aquariums in Logan, Brisbane, Australia. And it's actually almost 10 p.m, quite late at night. There's just been an aquascaping class that's been here. Navarro, all the way from the US with Seachem, came here and gave a little bit of a tutorial and some pro tips on how to do some aquascapes. But what I thought we'd also do while we're here too is at MAD Aquariums, they've got some incredible aquascapes. And so these are aquascapes by Jack and Khai, mainly, I believe.
Yes, there's a few from everybody actually, but yeah.
Oh, from everybody. Yeah. Okay, well, they're really beautiful. So I think you're going to be very impressed seeing these aquascapes. So we're going to go through, have a look. Jack's going to give you some tips and talk about how they created some of these beautiful aquascapes too. What we thought we would start off with actually is this beautiful main display tank here at the front. So this is a huge tank.
8 foot by 4 foot wide by 2.5 foot high. It roughly holds about 2,800 litres off memory.
And what's really special about this tank is it's got the store pet in here. This is Ed here, and Ed is a 15-year-old giant gourami.
Yeah, he had his birthday, February 25th is his birthday. And he's the only one I know exactly when he was born because of where he came from, and they had the date written down as well. So I haven't had him since birth, but I've had him for a long enough time. And this is chicken. So chicken's new to us. Chicken's roughly, give or take, around about that 2-year mark.
Well, we were going to feed them some mandarin because apparently giant gouramis like mandarin.
They do, they do.
I've been trained especially in how to feed them these mandarins. Oh, here we go, here comes chicken. Oh, yeah.
Now, because Ed's a bit thick, he needs to see it from the side and then he guesses roughly where it is.
Yeah, his eyes can't see it properly. All right, well, should we start looking at some of the aquascapes?
Sure.
All right, let's go. So this was the first main tank.
Yeah, so we originally started out a smaller shop not far from here, and that's where we first started. We were there for about 1.5 years, and we didn't have a lot of space, but that was the biggest tank we had in the store. And it's only a little 6B2B2, so a very standard tank, but it was just Africans. But we had all the clown loaches in there. It was really funny when we first started. We had all these clown loaches, and we added in an extra couple that we got from a customer, and one used to love lying down like as if it was dead, and then all of a sudden all the other clown loaches would lie behind him. So people would walk in and go, hey man, I think something's wrong with your tank. All the clown loaches are dead. But they just had this thing of lying down at the front of the tank.
See, that's why loaches are so cute. They do things like that, where you just walk in one day and it'll be like lying upside down.
Yeah.
A funny little fish.
But they don't seem to do it here, which is pretty cool. But every so often you'll see the odd loach lying down, but no one gives him any attention, so no one else. He doesn't keep doing it.
So. Not rewarded.
No.
You know, the funny thing is that tank there is also the one that inspired me for my Lake Malawi tank.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. And so that rock there, that's Texas Holy Rock. So it's a type of limestone that can help to raise your pH, since African cichlids like a higher pH. And they do sell that here too. In fact, they sell a lot of it. So just quickly, since we're doing aquascaping, I thought I'd just show you the aquascape area, Texas Holy Rock, that I've got in my Lake Malawi tank that I actually got from here as well. Many kilograms of it. But should we move on to the planted aquascapes?
Sure. I can show you these to start with.
Oh, okay.
So we're actually doing a pet show in Brisbane. All the staffs from junior to expert, they're allowed to pick a tank, and it's almost like an in-house competition. We're sort of all doing a tank, and then we see which one sells first in the show, and sort of give a prize out to the person that sells first.
What a great idea.
This one here that you're looking at the moment, that's Ryan's tank that works here as well. He does more weekends now, but he actually used to work for us full time. That's
a nice hardscape. It'd be good for African cichlids.
Yes. My hardest point or critique for Ryan was that it might be a little bit too heavy for someone to walk around in a pet show with. The one at the top, that's our juniors tank. So
that is very
nice. So his name's Zach. He's definitely got a keen eye, so which is good. A little bit of critiquing I give him when he does them, but he sort of needs like an end point, like a finish. But he takes things on board and then he starts mucking around with it.
And what I love about that is it's unique. I've never seen anything like that, where you can see that he's tried to make it look like a forest and then it's like a bank, like a river.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awesome, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is where they learn, and what I do is everybody gets to do some here or there or scape some up. Bree did one. Unfortunately, I can't show you because it's sold already. So it got sold not long after it got set up, and then Maddie also did one very similar, I believe, and yeah, hers sold as well not long after.
Bree is actually filming for us right now, so she's behind the camera.
Hi, Bree.
Yeah, no, these are
I
beautiful.
believe this one is Wade. And you were saying he's never scaped in his life. I know it's 2 rocks and a thing, but that's how it starts. So you don't need $1,000 worth of rock to make a beautiful scape.
No.
Sometimes simple is easy.
Sometimes those kind of things look better than the more interesting.
Very true. All right, where should we go next? There's so much to choose from.
Wherever
There's
you
Khai.
like.
Khai's hiding in the
Yeah, well,
background.
let's go down and
Might
see
if we can
Khai,
find him.
and
Yeah.
we'll see what he's up to. So he's also building his scapes for the show. So we're going to take all 6 of these cubes. Khai has actually claimed all 3 of the white ones, and Aaron, our other manager, he's claimed the other 3.
Nice.
So they're having a competition between themselves, I think, at the moment, to see who can get it done quicker.
Not the time, it's the quality.
It's the quality. There's the one who's behind. So I don't know what he's planning on doing with this
It's gonna
one.
be an arch.
An arch?
An arch.
Oh, going for the arch again.
Yeah.
All right. The empty one's going to be an arch. This cube, he's done a mountainscape, and if you have a look, he's actually put a glass mirror on the floor. He's angled it upwards, and the whole concept of that is to be able to see the water ripple, so as if it's running water. But he's still tweaking it a bit. Not technically a tank that would require CO2, but because the pet show is only a month away, the CO2 is really going to boost the growth side. Next one is his diorama. Go for it, Khai.
Yeah, so Diorama, it's a 45 by 45 tank, so it's not a huge tank, but the whole idea of a diorama is to make the tank look a lot bigger than it really is. So we play a lot with perspectives, with bigger rocks in the front, smaller rocks in the back, bigger woods in the front, smaller woods in the back, to make it really, trick the eye to make it look a lot bigger than it really is. So you don't need a huge tank to make it look nice and grand.
You come down here, it looks like it just keeps going and going. It's like a forest forever.
And
through
that's what
there.
Jack was saying before about the end point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kai's endpoint is here.
Yes.
But in saying that, it's still very flat. So I have spoken to him about this, but maybe making it
enough.
curve. But
Oh my goodness.
I give him a lot of crap, probably more than I should, but he loves it.
And this is beautiful.
Oh, come on!
It's not yours.
No, it's not.
Oh no.
This is a Dutch scape.
It's a Dutch
Yeah,
scape.
Dutch scape, so different style.
Yeah.
So that one relies mainly on the plant. So it's essentially more or less a flat scape. So the main features of the tank is supposed to come through the textures of the plants, the colors of the plants, and how we sort of keep the heights and how we trim the tank to make it look different from each other.
So eventually what they're going to do is they're going to shape that green one lower than they're going to shape the red one at the back, and maybe on a different angle so they sort of look like they're crossing. But I'm not quite sure. These 3 black ones are Aaron's tanks, so that he's taking, but he's done great with the Dutch. I've never done a Dutch. I don't think I've been confident enough, to be honest.
Yeah, I've heard
to
they're
do
very
a Dutch.
difficult to do.
A lot of work, a lot of trimming.
Because if you forget about it, then you lose everything. Because it's really based on the heights and how you trim the tank. If you miss a trim one for a week, all of a sudden the thing just looks messy.
Yeah.
But it comes back with a drink.
Yeah.
I would hate trimming a planted tank if it looked like that. Like I would feel so bad.
Yeah,
Be surprised how quick everything
yeah, everything
go back
grows
really
back
quick.
pretty quick. So,
But you just got to maintain it. That's the main thing.
have you done a Dutch?
No.
No.
And
Too much
who
work.
did this?
Aaron
SpongeBob
again.
SquarePants.
So he's done a SpongeBob SquarePants. Again, this is for the Brisbane Pet Show. These are going in. So he wanted one for the kids. So that way the kids have something to look at as well. So they see SpongeBob SquarePants as his story, or his theory behind it, sorry, is that kids will see
Everybody loves
SpongeBob
SpongeBob.
and the parents will see the other tanks.
I think the parents will see
parents will still
SpongeBob
see
too.
SpongeBob.
Yeah,
SpongeBob is
100%.
pretty cool. And then this is beautiful
All
too.
of the kitties.
Yeah, so I think he went for a sort of a naturistic look. there with like a tree root.
Yeah, I like the colours.
Quite a biotope.
Yeah, not quite, but
It's got like dusty colours.
yeah.
You know, like I like that.
Biotope is
It's not colours that you normally see.
No.
You know.
I love his
Cool.
he's trying to get the ripple. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but all that rippling on the bottom as if it's like a sunny day.
Oh yeah, that's the light, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. And the water flow on the rippling the surface of the water is
Yes.
creating that.
And the snails really suit this tank too. Like they just do, like the colour of them and everything. Very nice. And then this grand tank here that has a little beta in it, I think.
He went home today. Yeah,
good catching.
No.
I can put another giant beta in there.
Like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. And so this tank here, is this the one that you were showing me a photo that inspired you for doing this one, or is that a different one?
No, that's a different one. I always see the flaws in my scapes as well. Like, and
I don't know what you're seeing.
But there's a lot of flaws into it. There's actually a pump in there, and there's a waterfall that runs through here. So there's normally a waterfall that comes flying down here, crashes onto this rock here.
I love it. Oh, the little beta, it's like sitting on the rock.
So the fog machine's just, it's great for the effect is what we put it in there for, but it also helps with the terrestrial moss that's growing.
You made this as well by using your MAD Aquariums glue.
Yes,
So
that was our
liquid
original,
runny one.
Yes.
And yeah, you just
This
connect
one.
it.
The one that Khai loves
yes,
using.
there we go. And so you just connect it with a little bit of tissue paper, like between the two surfaces, like rocks
Yes.
or wood, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
exactly right.
To get a live
Do
action.
you want a live action shot? He's pretty good at
Yeah.
doing it.
So I use this glue as well to do my Tanganyika tank, like all the rocks and stuff. There you go. So as you can see, Kai's just got a little bit of tissue and he's just squirting the liquid glue onto that. And then it's going to adhere those two pieces of wood together. It's incredibly strong too,
If you don't glue your fingers together.
Yeah, just don't do that.
which I did do. But I survived.
But again, as long
I
as
was
you pull them
okay.
apart before it sets.
And I used your plant glue to glue like 20 pieces of Anubias onto my Texas Holy Rock too.
Oh, yep.
And it was a success.
I think Bree was saying acetone takes it all off as well. Like
it
the
does.
glue off your hands and stuff.
Okay. Well, I think Kai's in
my
the zone
endpoint.
now, working on his pet show tank.
And see how he's putting the glue back on and he's crushing some soil and he put it over the tissue paper and glued again. And then he'll do that a couple of times. It looks like all this, when you saw it first glance, you would just thought that was the color of the wood, but that's the soil where he's glued in. And then it makes it look like an older tree as well.
Seems like, have we looked at this one completely, or is there anything else you wanted to say about this tank?
Filtration usually is done via the waterfall and stuff.
There's no filter in it whatsoever.
You would normally have a filter, right? So a canister filter, hang on the back filter. It's basically a little zone to house all of your beneficial bacteria. You can also create that little zone on bits of rock and wood. And so if you've got a nice little wet area with a waterfall, then you can utilize that. Kind of like an aquascape wetland filter, where it's very similar, yeah. And it's like a bunch of wetland plants, like a little swamp area that the
Yeah, that it
passes
runs,
through.
the water comes running through that area. Normally it's got a lot of algae in it as well,
Yes.
and mosses, and that actually helps filter the water and cleans it. And what they try and do there is they try and grow your algae as well there, so that the algae's got somewhere to grow and it doesn't grow in the main area. So it is actually quite clever. I can show you the back of it so you can actually see it because the glass isn't covered over. Okay, so the pump's down the bottom there, and that's pretty much the main reservoir where all the so-called dirty water goes. So it goes through here and then it pumps back up to the waterfall and out that area that we were looking at before. But if you have a look, there's some air lines in here as well. So what I've done is I've plumbed the air lines into that line, so it actually comes out through the mountain. So water's constantly pouring down here as well, so that the plants can feed off it, because the mist isn't getting to that area.
Oh, how clever.
And we've got a little spray mister here as well that we can allocate to a certain area. If we find one area is not getting moist enough or whatnot, and we've got another secondary one up there we can angle somewhere as well.
That is awesome. I really, really love the one that's down the very front with the cardinal tetras. I think that Lewis said this was his favorite too.
It was.
Yes. This tank is gorgeous.
Yeah, so Lewis loved this one out of all of them, and I asked him at the start which one he liked the most, and he said this one. So I was quite chuffed, even though like I said, I see my flaws, and sometimes that's what everybody's got to remember. Just because you see them, you're your own worst critiquer, I guess.
At the end of the day, it's art, and art is not objective.
Yeah, it's
subjective.
Definitely.
It's about your personal feelings and opinions of it.
Yeah, there's no such thing as perfect.
Very difficult not to love an Iwagumi scape.
This kind of scape's called an Iwagumi. So it's generally one like rock and generally minimalistic plants. So they might only have one or two types of plants in an Iwagumi. So I've just gone with one, and that's Cuba. I actually got the inspo from this one from our shop TV. Every so often it goes into standby mode, and it comes up like pictures like same sort of thing as what your computer does when it goes on standby. And I saw this picture of this mountain, and yeah, I sort of wanted to duplicate it. So that's how it did. So, but unfortunately, some of my rocks and stuff, like this is me critiquing, my rocks are too sunken in because I didn't allow for the plant growth. So they should have sat on top of the soil rather than in the soil.
Right.
So that's why you can see like divots in them. But everybody learns. Even Lewis said it today. You know, you never stop learning. You'll always learn as you go, and you get better and better at it.
Totally. And so, can you give any tips for if someone wanted to set something like this up at home? I know it's kind of hard not being able to actually see the process of setting it up, but like, how do you do this? Where do you start?
I generally start all mine with an idea. So if I've got an idea of where I want it to be at the end, it never ends up like that idea, because you sort of have this one idea and then it changes as you're building. But I normally just start with my soil and hardscape first, and you'll probably notice, like if you come to the store a few times, you'll notice that it might still be soil and rock for almost a month before I decide to plant it, because I'm my own worst enemy, so I just keep looking at it.
Stall on it.
Yeah, so, and once I go, I don't think I can go any further, then I start planting.
Right.
But I generally start with the idea first.
Yes, okay, so right, so you...
Start with a loose vision and then let the details come naturally.
100%.
Yeah, so it's like you might find a picture of a landscape or something and use that as your inspiration, and not that you're trying to get it exactly like that, but
No,
it gives
but
you this
gives you an
idea
idea.
of the vibe that you're going for. I like it.
Yeah, and I've done that twice now in a row, so I think I've got to come up with some new forms of inspiration.
I just thought of a really good idea. It'd be really interesting to try and make, you know, that classic Windows screensaver with the rolling green hill and the blue sky? Do you know the one? Yeah.
Very tricky without rocks.
If you built an actual glass frame and got coloured glass, that could be your Windows thing on a stand, and then you build the soil up around it. No one would see the stand.
It would have to be soil only that can stay as a hill to make it work.
Yeah, as long as you plant
for you.
on
Put
it.
it around sunflower rock or something.
Yeah,
just a really
Yeah,
smooth
or you
rock.
could even just put stones underneath it and fill the soil over it.
Or you grow your carpet first and then lay that down over the hill. Throw it in as a dry.
Oh, now we're getting technical.
Oh my gosh, we should make a competition.
Who can build it first?
Yeah. Comment down below if you'd like to do that, because you could send me the photos or something and then we could show it in a video.
That's that one.
And these are cardinal tetras, not neon tetras.
I've got to show you my little buffalo.
Oh yes. I heard that it was Bree.
It was Bree, but I've claimed it.
It's yours now.
I couldn't find it. I searched everywhere for little men fishing. Little fishing men, and I was going to put them on the mountains, fishing off the mountain, but it didn't make too much sense
That
because
does
there's
not
no
make
water.
sense, 'cause that's,
Yeah. And so Bree brought me in that, and he's been sort of cool. So that buffalo gets around. Every water change it is a different spot.
All right, well, here's the tank that Lewis escaped.
Yeah, would you like me to lift some of this on? So the reason why we've got this is because we haven't filled it up with water yet, and we don't have the time at the moment. So the actual wrap keeps all the moisture inside, so it keeps all the plants from drying out.
I will, in the daytime, we'll get some good shots of this so you can see it really clear to all of the plants that is added. But yeah, that was really awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the first part because I had some other commitments that I had to be at first. But what I did get to see though was a lot of the planting of this tank.
He has planted at the back a lot of the stems, so they'll all grow, and you'll be able to see them from the front. because we didn't get our plant delivery on time today, he did go a little bit light on in the back corners here, so we'll fill that in for him as well.
I'm going to be so interested to see this grow in too. We'll have to do an update on it once it's grown in.
Yeah, me too. I reckon give it a couple of months and that it'll be at its prime.
Yeah, he had some awesome tips too. Like I learned a lot from listening to him. It's really good.
And that's the thing, like there's so many different ways of doing stuff too. You don't have to bank on one person. It's like we could do another masterclass with someone else and it's totally different information. I guess it's what works for you as a scaper, because I don't believe there's no set tank and no set conditions. And like Lewis was talking about, water parameters can be different. So you're selecting certain plants to be able to go into your type of water or stuff like that. So, but I also believe that, you know, every tank's different. So not everybody can keep the same plant. For example, I can't keep Monte Carlo, and that's one of the easiest plants to keep alive. And that's Cuba, which is the harder one.
Harder.
Yes, and that's a harder one, and I can grow that without any trouble, but as soon as I get the easy plant Monte Carlo at home, I just kill it.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah. So this one was built for the last show.
It changes every now and then slightly. Like you used to have a lot of angelfish in it, I believe.
Yes, because we unfortunately it is a shop, so we got an offer we couldn't refuse on the angels.
For the angelfish?
Yeah, so we were like, okay. And we were going to go put more in, and we started putting some little tetras and stuff in there, but then we sold it. So, and she was going away on holidays for a few months. She paid for it, but then we're actually delivering it in a couple of weeks, I think.
Oh, so she's going to take the tank to the person who bought
Yeah, she bought the whole kit.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but this one's got like, see how much goes into this one. This one's got more tech in it. So it's got like your big Oazi with this one here's got an actual pre-filter that you can just take that out and clean it. And it also has the heater built into it. It's trying to get all the tech out of the tank. So when you're looking at the tank, you're not seeing all the bits and pieces.
Yeah, nice.
So the heater comes into there, and then there's an auto dosing system there. So the good thing about an auto dosing system, you just put how much you want each week or each day, and it just pumps it in for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
You just got to remember to fill the bottles.
Which I would probably forget, to be honest.
Well, they do send you notifications, but I'm horrible at reading notifications or messages.
Yeah, so that's something that we should have mentioned too. So a lot of these tanks, to the tank and the plants and the aquascape are for sale here too, which is something we started doing somewhat recently. But yeah, so if you like any of these scapes, except for the ones that are sold already, which some of them are sold, you can also get in contact with MAD Aquariums and purchase them if you like. Yeah.
Well, I should mention Khai had the 3-foot one done up too. And it was probably our more popular one. It was
beautiful.
Yeah, it was 3 years old, but
the tank itself never sold. However, the amount of people that set up tanks
because of it, it was amazing.
They set up themselves.
And so for setting up something like this, any tips? Because I guess the thing that stands out to me about this is that it's not quite Dutch style where it's all plants. There's a bit of wood in there. It is heavily planted too, and a lot flatter compared to the one that we were just looking at the front.
It's very similar. It's a similar style to Lewis's tank. So they're both naturescapes. This is my first big naturescape. So I've only ever done small ones. So this big one sort of took me by surprise. But the good thing with naturescapes, and same with Lewis's, if you let them outgrow or grow in and grow rampant, it sort of looks better. It's like you don't see someone going into the forest and whippersnippering the grass or anything like that. So if you let it just grow, as long as you've placed plants that aren't going to grow too tall and not see the back ones at the front. So if you plant plants that stay short at the front, you'll always see your mid-grounds and you'll always see your backgrounds. So I guess it's just placement of plant.
Well, another thing I noticed that you do as well is you try and keep one type of plant altogether as well. That seems to look nice, like rather than spacing them all out sporadically.
Do try and keep multiple sections of each plant.
Yes, and then there's something nice as well about how then you have something to break it up too.
Yeah.
Like that's really gorgeous where the two tetras are just sitting. Like that makes it look really nice because that draws your eyes to that area.
Yeah, and you get sense of depth because it looks like another level of further back.
Yes. And so, do you just do this based off visually what looks good or what you feel is good, or do you have any type of formula that you follow?
Again, I sort of just, this one I sketched out.
You actually
So
sketched
like
it.
I sketched it how I want it to look. Looks, like I said, nothing like what you sketched originally, because it changes as you go, but it's got the basic structure. But I wanted a triangular composite, so that's your triangle there.
Oh, there you go.
And then you'll find, like, for example, Lewis's is also triangular, and I think he's done well because he knew the tank was going beside this one, so he's done it the opposite way.
They do look really nice together,
Yes.
like they complement
So
each
once
other.
his grows in, they're actually both going to complement each other.
Yeah, beautiful. Well,
So, and that's a true aquascaper, like he did really well with that.
and then, should we move to these ones here? So,
Yeah, if you want to.
what's going on here?
We just had some pea puffers. Yeah, it just kept going.
I'm showing it.
It's no, don't show it. So these are 60 by, I think it's 38, and it's only 15 or 18 centimeters high. So we just got these built just for us because everybody wanted a shallow 2 foot, and no one brought one to the table, so we thought we'd bring one ourselves.
I like it.
So ADA would do one, did one, but unfortunately the cost wasn't viable for a lot of the beginners side, so we thought we'd do it ourselves. And Aaron built this one up. He's trying different things, like he does a lot of the scapes you saw before, where it's like more like tree roots and stuff. So he's sort of branching out, which is pretty good.
Well, you know what's also missing from the market is a big shallow tank too, like a 6 foot shallow tank. Like if you could make something like that, I would totally buy it. That would be, I would even get something like
You
this
give me
one.
the dimensions and I'll get it done.
Really?
Yeah, whatever
Okay,
you need.
well you heard it here.
Yeah, we can get it done. Like tank builders are around about 4 to 5 months behind at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get it in OptiClear,
my
line
gosh.
glass if you need it.
I
or
would
whatever.
get so many shallow tanks because I want to keep axolotls in like a really big shallow tank, like a river tank for them. And then I want to keep it as like a loach kind of tank too, another one. So like there's just so many things that would be cool in shallow tanks, and you can grow so many awesome plants in them as well. Like you don't need as much light. I think they just look beautiful. There's just something about them.
Never heard of anybody wanting a 6 foot one, but
Oh yeah.
I'll do one for you.
Hi.
Wait, what are you turning on?
Well, do the
The
other
tank. The tank's turning on.
This tank?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is this a sand waterfall?
No.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? This is my
I'll
first
clap.
time seeing
I'll
this.
clap. I think it's ready.
Why? I love a good sand
It's
waterfall.
only just been filled up.
Okay, it's actually on a
excited.
clapper.
On a what?
Yeah, so if you clap twice, it'll turn on.
Okay,
Okay.
there we go. Very nice. And so, how does it work? Like, do you just have a...
Yeah, I'm actually doing a video on it, so everybody will
Oh,
be
so
able
we
to
have
see
to
it.
wait and see.
No, yeah. So, but it's pretty much a pump. Yeah, the clapper.
the clapper.
There's the clapper. But yeah. So I literally finished that 4:30 this morning.
Oh my gosh, wait, you were awake all night doing it?
Yes, because we had a power outage yesterday,
Oh my god,
last night, and it lasted till 4:30 this morning.
no.
So, and I thought, why not? I'll just continue the scape until the power turns back on. So this was the other one I was talking about that I got from another screensaver.
Nice, yes, with the waterfall.
Yes,
I'll
with
put
the
that
waterfall.
picture up on here too.
Yeah, so obviously the plants are very light on at the moment because it was 4 o'clock in the morning and I was just trying to get everything in.
And so, are you going to put fish in here too?
Yes, but I will wait a little bit. There's more planting to do and then
For the pet show.
Yes, this one was designed for the pet show. We haven't seen many of them in the pet shows,
Yeah.
especially in Brisbane, but so we're hoping that this will get people interested and they might want to go and DIY their own underwater
Yes.
waterfall.
Trying to mimic nature at the end of the day, so
Yeah.
the more you take inspiration from nature, the better it'll probably end up looking.
Yeah.
Sense. I wonder how big a waterfall you could do too. Like how big could a sand waterfall get?
Well,
That's my
originally this one was at the top. but I wanted to be able to see it.
You can see it well enough.
Yeah, like because you're looking at it there, but you'd have to get right down to be able to see it, the start of the waterfall. So I wanted it a bit shallow, and I wanted to put a bank on the back. So we're actually going to put defrosted backing on this one.
That would look really nice.
Yeah, and
sky.
I've played with the idea of putting a light behind it for a sunset.
Right.
But yeah, last one.
It's broken.
Clapper, turn it off. Yay!
It worked. It was just a bit of a lag. It's all right.
This one was at the pet show last year. It's had a revamp, and hence why there's no fish or anything in it at the moment, because it's going to go for the second time to the pet show. We got a lot of people interested in this one, but it was dry scaped, so there was no water at the show in this tank. But we decided we're just going to add a few more pieces to it and make it more river-like. And I'm actually planning on, this was an idea off a friend of mine, I'm going to make the sides black, the back frosted. It'll actually make it a more darker sort of look to it.
That'll look really cool.
And possibly putting the same concept on that one, a little spotlight coming through that hole down the bottom.
Nice.
So yeah, we don't know 100% what it's going to look like, so we'll try it before the show obviously, but maybe you'll have to come down to the show and check it out.
I would be, except I won't be here.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I know, I missed it last year because I was in America, and I'm going to be in America again.
Sneak you in with us for our setup, and maybe you can do
Like
a bit of
literally sneak me
Yeah.
in the tank
No,
or
you're
something.
just gonna have a.
Yeah, no, you can take. But yeah, that one I'm thinking of golden apple snails, neon blue acaras, and one other, but I just can't.
I like that. Yeah, it's very South American.
Gold,
Yeah.
blue. What's your third colour?
Red.
Red.
People look at it and they're like, oh, like I can just get like a big piece of driftwood and it'll look like this. But normally this type of thing is multiple pieces of wood put together,
Yes.
right?
So this one's a heap. So off memory,
15 pieces.
13. Did you have any pieces?
15.
Oh, so good. It probably is 15 because I was using bits of wood for the gluing, and then the wood would stick there, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Doesn't look too bad, so I left it. So there's a whole little bits stuck into it. So, but this one sort of just had the skeleton already from the last show, and then we just sort of tweaked it.
Yeah.
Too many. We've got another one we'll show soon, but
Ooh, I love that
You
one.
need to put the
Ooh,
barbs.
that's beautiful.
I want it to look dangerous and dark.
What's bubs?
Dangerous and dark.
Get the red fins as well.
Have you guys seen those fish and they have like glow eyes? Because I think they're trying to attract like a plankton or something to them. Have you seen them? And they look like,
Yeah.
they look like they have like evil little eyes.
Lamp eyes.
Lamp eyes.
Well, it's not a lamp eye,
That would-
Petra, it's called
No,
a lamp
it's
eye.
called a lamp.
lamp.
It's a salt. Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
it's
they're
a saltwater.
saltwater because I was thinking it's
Yeah.
like plankton.
Yeah,
It's
lamp
not
eyes.
fresh.
I'm not good with my salt water, but yeah.
Yeah, they look awesome. So you can't put that in
They're
there.
pretty cool.
Or like,
Can't really grow plants in salt water.
oh, what about glass catfish? Because
Coconut?
they're dark.
That's macroalgae.
Yeah. See,
Glass
and this is
catfish?
why I don't do gold.
Like a skeleton fish. That's like
That's not a bad idea.
Not a bad
type of
idea.
fish. Yeah.
All right, two left.
And actually, I love this tank. And I know that I'll probably get some flack saying I love a tank with fake plants because people just have this
Why
stigma
not?
against fake plants. But I think that obviously, see, it can look beautiful too. And there's a place for everything. Like I think that not everyone wants to keep live plants, or they might not like the look of a hardscape, it might be too plain for them. So then you might opt for something like this, where they're going to look beautiful all of the time. Worst thing that can happen to these plants is they might fade slightly over a long period of time, or grow a little bit of algae every now and then. But even then, when they're fake plants like this, they're so easy to just take out, clean, put them back in.
Yeah, 100%. So we do clean these guys out. So we can use chlorine to clean them up, and essentially just put them in water with a heap of chlorine neutralizer, which everybody has at home for their aquarium, and then use them straight back into your aquarium same day.
Well, there you go. And I love this tank because when I look at it, it makes me feel happy. And I think that's the cool thing about art. It's so subjective. A lot of it's based on how it makes you feel when you look at it. And I think commonly, like for a lot of people, they like nature. That's why they like fish. So when they look at something that's very natural, they like it, they feel good. But I think that doesn't always have to be just nature too. Like I like bright colors. So when I look at this, I really, really like it. And the goldfish too. Goldfish are very cute. Which they also sell heaps of as well. We won't go through all the fish because this is an aquascaping video. We'll
I've
be
done
here
that before,
until
and
4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
But we can do that another time if you want to see more of the store too, because they've got a lot of fish back here, and not just goldfish, African cichlids, South American cichlids, like every type of fish. And talking about cichlids.
Talking about cichlids, yeah, this is Aaron's
tank.
scape. So this one, inspiration from this one is if you actually were to dive in Lake Malawi, this is roughly what you're going to see anyway. He sort of did a V shape here with his style of scaping. Well, it's technically still aquascaping, even though there's no plants in it. But so these are all mbuna species. So these are all rock dwellers. So they live in Lake Malawi, in the depths of Lake Malawi, and in the shorelines as well.
Yep, and these are, all mbunas, and got some favourite ones in there. So we've got a little, is that a travase? You might see them here. They've got this little trunk face. That's not a deformity, that's actually how they're born. And I just think it is the cutest thing ever. So they are also called a scraper mouth mbuna too. And so they use that little trunk to actually hold onto the rock to scrape the algae off, especially in areas where there's a really strong current. That little scraper mouth, little trunk helps them to hold on. And another one that I love too, this kind of dark navy blue, almost black one with the white tail. So that is a whitetail ACI, I believe they're called.
Oh, the one at the back? Yeah. Sure is.
You can get different types of them. You can get a yellowtail ACI too, and they do get quite big, a lot bigger than that. Probably you'd say like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times bigger than that, and very chunky, but very sweet fish, I find. My ones never hurt any other fish. I find them to be pretty placid for an mbuna, and you can hand feed them, just friendly, happy fish. I love them.
I find a lot of people have success when they keep either mbuna or your peacocks or haps. So I find you got to remember that mbunas are down the bottom in the wild and haps are their predators. So by putting them in the same tank, they're naturally going to want to protect their area from them. So when a tank's not big enough, like this one's only 4 foot long, when it's not big enough, you can't give them a big enough area so that they can all live in harmony.
Yes, these fish in particular, Lake Malawi cichlids, have content-specific aggression, so they tend to target fish that look similar to themselves. So if you have 2 orange peacock cichlids, let's say, they're more likely to fight each other compared to if you've got one that's blue and one that's orange. It must just be something genetic that they just know from pheromones. Not sure how they know that they look similar, but have you found that as well?
Well, they don't have a mirror.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is true what you're saying. Yeah, I do find that a lot as well.
Without fail, like I've tried it.
Yeah. But I guess what Katie wants to know is how do they know what they look like?
I think it must be pheromones. But yeah, that's a beautiful tank to finish on. And it's been great as well, the diversity, the variety of different scapes that you guys have. We've been able to show you guys a different type of style of scape in every tank, whether it's just hardscape, boulders, and whether it's fake plants, or just hardscape in terms of like timber and logs. We've showed you a Dutch style scape with just plants. We've showed you a mix of all of those things, a carpeting style scape, Iwagumi.
You're correct,
Iwagumi
yeah,
scape,
well done.
it? There we go.
None of it.
Iwagumi scape, and a very good variety of different types of fish that inhabit these different scapes as well.
Exactly.
So it's been awesome.
And hopefully, like, we'll get more and more tanks set up throughout next year, or this year, sorry. After the pet show and financial year gets through, we'll start scaping a few more tanks and hopefully giving everybody some more view on different styles and different fish as well.
Yeah.
Because we tend to put the fish we love in there, and there's a lot of fish that we love that we don't sort of bring out because they're I don't know, people don't see them the way we do. So hopefully we can build some tanks to bring out some weird and wonderfuls out from the fish room. Like we've got some beautiful butterfly fish in there.
Oh yeah, they're
but
gorgeous.
everybody thinks they're dead. Oh. So I'd love to get them into a tank so they can see how they normally act and react.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome. Well, yeah, so this is MAD Aquariums, Logan, Brisbane, Australia.
Watch this space.
Yeah, watch the space. Come and visit if you're local, or if you're ever on a trip around here, come and visit. There's some people from Bundaberg that we hear the other day. Plants, better fish, every variety of fish that you can think of, and especially like everything. You have to look everywhere. Everything. And so if you like African cichlids too, this is a great place to come and get your African cichlids.
Thanks.
Pretty much all of my Lake Malawi cichlids are from here. So yeah.
Come buy your cichlids and become the new Katie.
Yeah, Katie cichlids.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jack, for showing us around, and Bree for filming as well with that heavy gimbal. Thank you so much, and Khai as well for showing us your scapes and being our automatic light turn oner.
Clapper.
Good work. Clapper, yeah.
Hey.
Okay. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe too if you're enjoying this content, especially for my America trip, which is coming up soon, and hopefully the pet show video. Hopefully we will get that too. But
We'll sneak you in somehow.
We will sneak me in. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.